record this,
Yeah.
and I do want to hear the answer again. So, when it comes to writing a review, right? So, what do you think? Do you think that if you had given enough time, it will be possible? And how much time is it taking for you to do the task that I'm asking you to do?
Honestly, like with today, I have like today was a bit of a fluke. I'll tell you that later. But with regards to like, yesterday's work, honestly, like it didn't take me like too long as like I mean I was just focused on just doing that. Like I wasn't like leaving in the middle or like getting like I didn't really take that many breaks. And I think if I remember correctly, maybe it didn't take me too long. Maybe 2 hours, 3 hours.
2 to 3 hours.
Yeah. It didn't take me like a crazy long amount of time,
Mm-hmm.
but
Got
that's
it.
yeah, it didn't take me like a crazy long amount of time. Um maybe like probably would have been shorter if I wasn't sick, but oh,
I am sorry. It looks like this is
oh yeah, I think
start.
you froze.
Yeah, I don't know why this is saying that my internet connection is unstable. I mean, not sure. Anyways, so I did miss you somewhere in between. So can you tell me, like, it took 3 hours and then it was, you focusing?
Yeah, so it took me, I would say maybe like it wasn't like fully 3 hours, but maybe close. It probably could be shorter if I think because I was sick, it might have taken me a little longer, but it definitely could have taken less time, I think.
Hmm.
So it's if I'm like if someone is focused on it and they're not gonna like get any distractions, and as long as they manage their time properly, you could definitely it's definitely possible.
Okay, got it. Yeah. So go ahead. Show me what you have written.
Yeah. Oh wait, here, let me show you the first thing I did was this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And before I say, today's work was not my best work because when I had texted you, I was like, okay, yeah, because I woke up like super late because I
Hmm.
didn't get that much sleep last night. So I woke up super late and I texted you and I was like, let me, start on my work. So I'm starting on my work. And then all of a sudden my dad's like, hey, we need to go out. And I didn't know this. So I started getting ready really fast. And then we left. And then by the time we got there, like when we went out, I realized I forgot my computer. So I couldn't do my work. And I literally got home maybe like I would say hour and a half back. So it's like
Hmm.
speed run everything.
Okay.
So this was the first thing that I did was
Hmm.
the questionnaire. I just put it on here. And how I
Hmm.
did it was so first the instructions. I think I'll just show you that last because I put it on the
My
enable
camera.
thing.
Okay.
So for swallowing, I kind of just put like copied and pasted all of like the different tasks. And then I did it like in a drop down way.
Hmm.
So patient would just drop down and then
Okay.
whatever suits
Hmm.
them the best, they would
Okay.
select
Okay.
just basic. And then when you go down, they have the total score.
Hmm.
And when I go to, where is it? Oh, I don't know where I put that. Here are the instructions. I wanted to keep it really simple. So it'd be read each question and select option that best fits your current ability from the drop down.
Hmm.
Um, well, actually, I need to probably should reword that because it says answer based on how
Yeah.
your symptoms. Yeah.
So with these, right, uh, you cannot change any word or a sentence. You cannot change it. So if it is, yeah, it's a validated questionnaire, right? So there's nothing you should change.
Oh, even in the instructions.
Yes.
Oh, did you want me to like? Because the other one, it was for a
Mhm.
clinician to fill it out. I thought you
Yes.
wanted me to like make it to the patient to fill it out, but then yeah, I could just copy and paste uh
Yes.
the
Yep.
instructions for the person, but that's basically where I would put it,
Hmm.
displayed at the top after the title.
Yep. The question that I
But
have for you is why am I not able to see the mic app? Why am I not able to enable that?
oh yeah, I didn't enable it yet because I wanted to enable it after I showed it to you.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So even if you enable it, like
Oh,
what is that showing?
the only validation types are 8-digit 999.
Yes.
Wait, what is the only valid
Autocomplete
validation?
H2. So go to autocomplete H2.
Where's wait, where would that be in here?
Have you tried to do some data validation
Nope, did like I just did like add field copy paste. Let me check
here,
it.
right?
I don't think I did.
Okay. Swallowing. And this was what field was it? Choices.
Oh, this is multiple choice drop down.
Can you show me H2 for variable? Multiple choice drop
Yeah.
down. So is it a drop down? You cannot, so you can't change drop down. If it is check one, it has to be check one in the questionnaire.
Oh wait,
You cannot change it. It has to be radio button.
wait, let me go to the
So your field type.
oh,
No, not that. Not only for this. Like when you go to the questionnaire, right? It
mm-hmm.
needs to look exactly like the questionnaire that you have seen in the paper.
Yeah, so everything here is just exactly like I just copied and pasted and I put it.
Yes. So no, again, right? It's a drop down option. It should not be a drop down.
Oh, so then how would someone like choose
Multiple
checkbox?
choice, like single choice, single answer. Yep, the radio buttons. Yep, that's
Oh,
the one.
wait, what's the difference? Let me see. Oh, okay.
Yep. So
I get
H2,
that.
you've done something over here.
This one, I don't think I did.
I
I
don't
did
know
the
why
same thing
it's,
for all of them.
yeah, enable auto labeling. Just change the name of the variable.
I don't
Have
know
you
if like
used it for
V2.
something else?
I don't think so. Like how I just did it was I just put it randomly. I'm like the first and like the letter of the first thing in the question number. Or the first, let me just see maybe let me change this and then go back to designer. Oh yeah, so it works. Able to enable it now.
So here you put in the instruction.
Yeah, where,
So whatever the instruction that's over there, you need to put it over here.
yeah, I can just put that in later.
Yep, that's okay.
Yeah,
So that needs to be changed. Did I ask you to do two questionnaires or just that one questionnaire?
just that one.
Okay, got it.
Mhm. And the other thing you asked me to do was, yeah, so I didn't have as much time as I wanted to like thoroughly read the paper, but I kind of, or both of them. So I just read as fast as I could, and these were like the main, I guess, differences or the main points that I saw.
Hmm.
So in the methodological, like so the first paper, so
Hmm.
these are like some of the main points that I, noticed and kind of the corresponding um one for the second paper. So in the first one was they used the ACR EULAR myositis response criteria in juvenile dermatomyositis. They followed predefined core set measures, IMAX and Printo. They included muscle and enzyme as a key core set measure. They used physician assessment, or this is what they were saying to use physician assessment of change for validation of MRCC,
Hmm.
follow predefined consistent improvement categories, use
Hmm.
consistent study inclusion criteria, and have large, evenly sized subgroups. And this is
Hmm.
what I noticed in the second paper in relation to these key points. So they did use MR. CC, the
So
myositis
which
response.
year, can you remind me? So when you are presenting the table, right, please put the
Mhm.
year as well,
Oh,
like
okay.
when they did it. So which year was this paper?
I'm pretty sure. Okay. This,
One is
mm,
17 and one is 23, right?
yeah, I know this one is 2023. This one's either 2016 or 2017.
2017.
Yeah. And then so in relation to this, so they did use the MRCC with the myositis response criteria in JDM, and they used multiple data sets.
Hmm.
They did follow the IMAX and Printo core set measures,
Hmm.
and then muscle enzyme was less consistent in
Hmm.
the actual like trial, so it had the least value in the total improvement score.
Hmm.
They did use physician assessment of change for validation so that they compared.
Mm.
And then improvement categories varied more, especially with varied baseline disease activity. And then, yeah, use consistent study inclusion criteria. Basically, studies had more variability in baseline disease activity because in the actual like trial they had their inclusion criteria wasn't as strict. That's what like I noticed. And then one of the bigger things that I noticed, I think we also noticed this when we went over it, was that so they said in the original paper, oh, you should have like large, evenly sized subgroups, but then in the actual trial they had small samples, like the subgroups had small sample sizes, and this overall just led to like the data not being as consistent across all the groups.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
this was the main points that I saw or
Okay.
noticed.
Got it. Got it. And did you go over the sit to stand paper?
I didn't have time to go over this
Did you
Dan
not have
paper.
time? Okay, got it. So, quick feedbacks for you is first of all, I'm very impressed, right?
Okay.
Because I was like, hey, I'm not sure what I'm going to see with
Mm-hmm.
respect to what you're going to learn, right? So, you can see the comparison from what they predicted is going to do happen versus what really happened, right? There is a gap. They told that, hey, we are hoping that we'll have a consistent subgroup. And then in reality, that never turned out to be true. They
Mm-hmm.
predicted that, muscle enzyme is going to be a key core set measure, right? But when it comes to the reality, it doesn't look like muscle enzyme is as valuable to predict the disease progression, right? So that is basically research, Hasini. You
Mm-hmm.
start with a hypothesis and you don't know what happens. And these are all myositis experts,
Mm-hmm.
right? They themselves could not predict what really happens. Make
Yeah.
sense? So that is the lesson that you learned, right? No matter how much we hypothesize, right? This is going to happen, this is going to work out, right? We don't know until it works, if it works or not. Right? So
Mm-hmm.
that is something that we need to mention. And the second table, I would say this is really good. I can store this in draft 2, draft 3 in the
Yeah, I was
same
gonna copy
review.
and paste it.
Yeah. So basically we are trying to keep a track of, hey, if we do a sprint, right, I need to know for myself that what does it take to make sure that we push a review paper as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, the reason is I anticipate not having time in the future, right? And I don't want to drop this idea. It's like, hey, you have an idea. If you don't push it, it's gone, right? It's dropped.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Yeah.
want that to happen. So that's the reason. Now take this and put it in the review as one of the
Yeah.
drafts.
Should I just put it in a new tab or
Yeah, yeah, just put it in a
yeah.
new tab.
Okay. Yeah.
And after that, I will suggest, going through this, you should ideally, when I'm asking you for core set measure and I'm telling you to make the comparison, you missed a very important thing. Can you tell me what you missed?
Just overall in the paper
No, like what do
or
you
just
think? So we are writing a review, right?
yeah.
So how helpful is this information for you to write the review?
I think the stuff about the fact that they didn't follow the using the large evenly sized subgroups definitely I think that's a big thing because that
Hmm.
led to the data being less consistent. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the main point that we can talk about,
Mm-hmm.
saying that, hey, like this one isn't as reliable, but then look at ours, type of thing.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing. The other thing, I mean, that's amazing point. I want
Mhm,
that to go into our paper, right? That's
mhm,
something that you take your note and no, I approve it. It's going into our paper. Next, there is one more thing that you highlighted, but I wanted to see how can you make it specific to our paper. See, okay, let me point it out. You told me about what they did when it came to muscle enzyme,
mhm.
right? They predicted that it's, good, but later on you realize that it's not that good. But I want to check because when I asked, they are saying muscle enzyme is very consistent. The reason why the muscle enzyme was not consistent is you answered the question. The characteristics of each person was different in the study groups.
Mhm.
Right? That was the reason why it was not consistent. Fine. Now, what I want to know is I want to know for the functional tests, what is the difference? When they came up with the guideline versus in these variable groups, how do the functional tests perform?
Mm, wait, could you repeat that?
So you told me in 2017 paper, they
Hmm.
have included creatinine kinase, the
Yeah.
muscle enzyme, as one of
Mhm.
the core set measures.
Yes.
And you presented to me that the core set, the creatinine kinase was not consistent,
Hmm.
right? Because it had variability over different groups.
Yeah.
Now, I am asking you, what we are writing about is the functional component of the
Yeah.
core set measures. So you have not presented that to me.
Okay.
Right now, the answer I hope is going to be functional components are consistent.
Mm, yeah.
Right? If you say that, hey, IMAX has come up with guidelines and it looks like even among people with variable baselines, functional tests are reliable.
Mhm.
Does it make sense now?
Yeah.
So that is what we are looking at. If you understand the core concept, right? Think about it this way. What does the functional test, so any test, right? It is supposed to, if a change in a value in the test, what is it supposed to do? It is supposed to predict how the person's disease is performing based in the change in value, right? Let's say you have stable disease, right? There is going to be some variability in the muscle enzyme levels. It is
Hmm.
going to be there. Like when you measure blood pressure and you have like stable, thing, you're still going to have fluctuations,
Yeah.
right? So if it comes to functional tests, because of the sensitivity over here, you can figure out is it going to be more reliable than other tests or not.
Hmm.
Makes sense? So that is the point that you're going to bring in.
Okay.
So what are the 2 points that we spoke about? One is the fact that Uh, one was the first point that I told you. The second one was the fact that I told you about.
The
Um,
functional components of the
yes,
Corset measures. Yeah.
yes. That's the one I want you to, really emphasize on.
Hmm.
Okay, then so here you're talking about what? You're talking about the functional components. List all the functional components that they've told in methodology, and then list all the functional concepts that these people have done on 2023 paper. Right? And then you say that, hey, you need to explain about each functional component.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Hmm.
And you go into depth about, hey, we picked the sit to stand. Next, we are going to pick time up and go. Next, we are going to pick 6-minute walk test.
Hmm.
Right? And then we are going to see from the view of computer vision and tell how computer vision is going to make these things better.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Hmm.
Now, let me tell you, if you can pull the sit to stand paper up.
Yeah. What was the title again?
Is there in the review paper?
Oh, just so I can.
Mhm. this, but yeah, it will be here. So go a little bit down. Yep, that's the one. So what are you going to say over here? This is a strength that is going to address the variable baselines, right? And say that, hey, if you make this possible, nationwide studies are will become easier,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So in this paper, go down, 10,000 people accessed it. Okay, go down, kinetic measure, blah, blah, blah. Here, they've told about, you remember we read about, go down, go more down. In the results, go down, our smartphone, 1 second. There were some people where they, no, 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 I want you to stay here. They
Hmm.
have percentages, right? Where they had to drop few people as outliers. And in all the other cases, it performed better. It performed well.
When they drop the people.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
so of 430 people, they just dropped a few people, right? Because it didn't
Oh
perform
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So that's what you highlight and say that, hey, this test is reliable and it has already been proven to be reliable in this
Hmm.
scenario, and we want to see, you can be explored in our scenario as well,
Yeah.
right? And then you don't talk about the underlying technology, just say technology. With
Hmm.
technology, it's possible,
Yeah.
right? That's what I would say. Makes sense? So for
Yeah.
tomorrow, I want you to complete the red cap questionnaire, and I'm going to give you another questionnaire, and I will tell you what that is. It needs to be different and make sure we have it in order. So you did IBM FRS, you did work WPAI,
Yes. And then I did the,
sit
wait,
to
where did I go?
stand.
Yeah, so that's what, three so far.
Yep. And we need to review all three tomorrow.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna give you the IRB. In meantime, do tell me, is it helpful? Should we slow down? What is your opinion?
I think the pace we're going at is okay. I don't think
Okay.
we have to slow down or anything.
Okay, gotcha. hmm So disease characteristics. There's quite a lot of, there's a quite, this is big. Mm, okay. So I'm going to give you the disease characteristic form,
Hmm.
and I'll try to make sure that you can do it. So let me give you a promise form. This is better. Physical function, right? Pain in friends. Yeah. So those are the ones that I want you to do. Did I give you like a promise form? No, right?
I don't, not before, not yet. Yeah.
Not yet. So I'm gonna put it in your notes in tab 4,
No.
or where do you want me to put it?
Actually, let me actually just copy and paste today's notes into tab four. I think that'll make it easier.
Okay.
So yeah, this is the link right here.
Okay. You wanted that, right? I'll put it.
Okay, thanks.
So that's the one. Got it. So these are your notes, and then this is what you have to work on. And yeah, that's pretty good. Just check if you can access it. Did you have, yeah, you can. So
Yeah.
were you, again, you have to note that there's not much you should change in
Yeah.
this. right? And I'll send you like how it has to be is like, radio boxes and stuff. So that's something that you need to do. Now, coming back to the other question, did you use like the Gemini? Did you have chance?
No, I wanted to, but then I was like, you know what, let me just do it like based off my reading. And then what I'm thinking is tomorrow what I'll do is I want to add on to this, maybe go a bit more in depth. So then tomorrow I can like
Hmm.
just add a few more points that I found with using the Gemini.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be helpful for you
Yeah, it was
because you
fun.
have to read, right?
Yeah.
That part, and then if you would have used it, I would have found out because you would not have been able to correlate that why is that the case,
Hmm.
right? You only think about it. If someone else gave you the table, you cannot answer,
Yeah.
right? So that's how, people know that what did you use? You
Hmm.
can use it, like you can make the table, you should still go read it.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So that's the thing. So where I would think Gemini is more useful is, let's say we go to time up and go,
Hmm.
right? Or 6 minute walk test. You know what was required to write for the sit to stand. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Now you should not now it is a manual work that you have to go and review papers and find the right papers. So
Hmm.
that is what this AI is capable of doing better.
Yeah.
It will find all those paper, it will make you like a small list, and from that you still have to read.
Hmm.
So that's how we have to use it. Make
Yeah.
sense?
Makes
Okay.
sense.
So I'm going to